so here we're looking at a cross bearings question. So basically on these, we're going to shoot some bearings in compass. We're going to convert those bearings to true. As soon as we get that done, we can draw lines off of those points where we shot those bearings off of. So one would be shot off of Point Judith Light. That's going to be 073 PSC. Next one, Block Island North Light. That's 156 compass. Next is Watch Hill Point Light. That's 293 compass. So we're going to be converting these three to true before we can draw our lines on the chart. Remember, we always have to convert compass to true before we start drawing the lines on the chart. So what we're going to do is make these conversions. So we know that we're going to have to convert. So we'll draw our table here, T, V, M, D, C, and then we're going to put our arrow over the C with what we need to do with the E and the W. So we'll add E, subtract W. These are basically just plus or minus signs, whether you're converting from compass to true or from true to compass. So what we'll do just for fun is put whether we have to add or subtract east or west over the true. If we're going from true to compass, converting from true to compass, subtract E, add W. So our first bearing is shot off of Point Judith Light, and that's going to be 073. Second, Block Island North Light, and that is going to be 156. The third bearing is going to be Watch Hill Point Light, and that bears 293 per standard magnetic compass. All right, next thing we need to do is figure out what the deviation is going to be. So these are bearings. Bearings do not have deviation. Headings have deviation. And if you notice, they give us our heading or our course. So our deviation is going to come from a heading or a course of 282. 282 is about between 270 and 300. So a number between 1.5 west and 0 would be about 1. We're going to go with 1 degree west. And we're going to apply 1 degree west to every bearing we shoot while on a heading of 282. So 1 degree west, 1 degree west. Now we can also fill out the variation column all at once. 15 west, 15 west, 15 west. Now remember, it's not always going to be 15 west. It's 15 west for the chart that we're working on here. But if you're in a different location, you're going to want to look at the compass rose on the chart that's closest to where you are located. And that's going to provide you with your variation. But for this particular chart, we're using 15 degree west. And this is an older instructional chart. So 073, what does the W mean? Well, we're going to come back over here. That's a minus sign. So 73 minus 1 gives us 072. 156 minus 1, 155, 293 minus 1 gives us 292. 72 minus 15 gives us 057. 155 minus 15 gives us 140. 292 minus 15 gives us 277. So now we have the numbers we need to draw some lines. So now we'll take our triangles or our parallels, and we're going to set our triangle for our first bearing that we shot, and that was off of Point Judith Light. We're going to set our triangle for 057. So we're going to find 0.057. And we're going to line that up with the meridian. And then we're going to bring the working edge of our triangle over to Point Judith Light without changing the orientation of our working edge. Now we're going to draw our first line of position. Next, we're going to set our triangle at 140 and bring our working edge over to Block Island North Light. So we find 140. We line that up with our meridian. And we're simply going to bring our working edge over to Block Island North Light. And there's line of position number 2, our second bearing that we shot. Third is going to be Watch Hill Point Light, and that bears 277. So we're going to set our triangle at 277, which is right here. And we're going to draw our third line of position. These intersect right here almost perfectly. So now what we're going to do is figure out the latitude and longitude of that point. So our latitude is going to be 41, and it looks like 15, 16, 17, decimal point 0 north. Our longitude is going to be 71 degrees, 35, 36, 37, 38, decimal point 1, 2, 3, west. That is our answer. Now let's do a little bit of comparison here to figure out which of these is going to be the closest. So it looks like we have 17, 0, 17, 0, 38, 2, 38, 3. That's pretty close. We're only a tenth off. 17, 1, so that we're a tenth off on our latitude there for option B, and 39, 1, we have 38, 3, so we're a long ways off on B. We can eliminate that. C, 17, 2, we're 2/10 off on the latitude, and we are 4/10 off on the longitude. D, 17.2, we're 2/10 off on the latitude, and 7, 8, we're a half a mile off on the longitude. So we are going to circle option A.